we talk about McDonald's, we usually talk about the burgers, fries, childhood nostalgia, the convenience, the low cost for families, the friendly Ronald McDonald. But we don't usually talk about redlining or segregation. Obviously, who would really be talking about, to be honest, especially about a fast food restaurant? American cities were deliberately being reshaped by a racial policy. They get to decide what cities would rise and what cities would decay. Obviously, the black people who mostly live in the area side would decay. Obviously, right? I don't have to explain that part. Redlining began in the 1930s as a housing policy. Government agencies, banks, and lenders would create this map that would grade neighborhoods based on risk. Black residents live is where it would be labeled hazardous. Even middle class black residents, it would still be labeled hazardous. And those areas will be outlined in red. So what does that mean? That means no home loans, no business loans, no long-term investments. It means no long-term economic growth. Not because there's some crazy violent crimes going on or even poverty, it's because of our skin tone. If you're black watching this, yeah, America hates us. Because of the creation of redlining, it will basically determine where groceries will be built, where banks will be built, where pharmacies would be built, where grocery stores would be open, even where hospitals would be built. By the 1950s and 60s, the results of redlining were impossible to ignore. They even have fewer grocery stores, fewer fresh food options, aging infrastructure, rising poverty due to disinvestment. Now, McDonald's did not invent these conditions, obviously, but they sure did recognize it. So they said, we need customers, and we only need consistent customers. We need low prices. We don't need wealthy customers. We're going to rely on these broke bitches. So that's what they did. And they also got a high volume, a fast turnover in urban neighborhoods that are struggling because of redlining. Black neighborhoods had dense populations, fewer food choices, and less political leverage to change zoning. McDonald's follow these patterns because they're thinking about their business. They're thinking about money. They're strategically thinking, okay, since because of redlining and these poor blacks are in these areas and they barely don't have fresh food options like, the wealthy people. So we're going to go over here. We're going to make sure our prices are low. We just need fast foot traffic where we can have customers all the time. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get high volume. It's going to be great. And it was great. It was. Because of redlining, McDonald's got to benefit from it. And McDonald's strategically did this in order to, get business, get money. This is not about like community care. Oh, we care about the blacks and how they don't. No. It's not about none of that. Simply because segregation created predictable, profitable markets. Grocery chains avoided redline neighborhoods. Fast food filled the gap. This is creating a food desert. Isn't that interesting? Like, we blacks just don't deserve healthy food choices. We just don't deserve. We deserve food deserts. This is how food deserts form. And food deserts isn't just, oh, we don't have food. It's about a lack of choice of what kind of foods you can eat for the ignorant ones in the back. Many black neighborhoods, McDonald's wasn't just the only fast food restaurant. It was one of many between blocks of each other. While the nearest grocery store is miles away. This isn't an accident. Corporations moved into areas with limited alternatives per square mile, and this is done on purpose. They can maximize their profit, so they can maximize their pockets. McDonald's did not cause redlining, but sure did capitalize on the landscape redlining created. And public health researchers later realized, oh wow, there's higher rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in black communities. Blame often fell onto individuals. All those fat fucking blacks just can't contain themselves. They're just greedy bastards. Whole time, this is all a system that is done on purpose. Like how there's like so many smoke shops in black communities. That shit is done on purpose. McDonald's benefited from segregation and separated itself from the consequences. You don't ever see McDonald's saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, guys, that I did benefit off the redlining, and I knew what I was doing." McDonald's is never gonna fucking say that. What the fuck? McDonald's has mad money. And that's why McDonald's was able to spread itself other places, because black communities fill their fucking pockets up, because this shit is orchestrated. Let's put ourselves in these poor black communities. Let's put our restaurants in between blocks of each other and keep the grocery store with all the healthy shit miles the fuck away. Let's keep away these hospitals and medical care that they need. Let's put them away from where they're at and put them miles from each other so they can eat our bullshit. Come the fuck on. So funny because their advertising just tells a different story. They show happy black families. They like to show what they really think of black people by making them into stereotypes, but no one really catches on to that, do you? But I always have to bring it up and mention it. But you know, they like to pretend like, oh, everybody just, well, everyone's so happy in the commercials. You wouldn't ever fucking think that this shit is going on unless you really look back into fucking history. This message was warmth, belonging, inclusion, but that doesn't mean that representation does not equal investment. McDonald's likes to say they're a part of the neighborhood, that neighborhood itself was under-resourced, which caused McDonald's to have all the visibility in that neighborhood, in many fucking neighborhoods. Their visibility increased, structural conditions did not. McDonald's relationship to the black community not just be racist imagery or just, their thinking is warped about black people and how they see them. You can see that in my other video where I talk about McDonald's. This shit is structural. They did this shit on purpose. Company expanded into spaces shaped by discrimination, extracted profit from black people's pockets. Next time you're looking at a McDonald's, you're looking at economic exclusion, you're looking at a corporate fucking strategy. This is really about understanding how these corporations can take advantage of disadvantaged communities. This is not really about feeling guilty for eating McDonald's. Wah!